Hello everyone and welcome back to the Coach Dave Academy Gran Turismo YouTube channel. I'm Martin Grady, otherwise known as Tijney, and once again I'm going to give you some lap guides here for the brand new weekly races that are happening this week. Now, very interesting week this week. We have some of the brand new circuits, both Circuit Villeneuve and Yas Marina in play in Daily Race A and Daily Race B, and we will be looking at them in all their glorious details. So first up then is Daily Race A, where we're at Circuit Villeneuve. We're in Super Formula cars. Very interesting circuit here. Lots of dangerous corners on this one. And I'm going to take you through it in detail, picking out some of these brake markers. We're then going to have a look at the Delta app and have a look where we can improve as well. Because for me, I was on the track for the first time today as well. But I've managed to pick out some key markers to really get you on those boards and really improve your times. Let's jump into the lap then and let me explain how to do a quick one. So here we are on the start-finish straight, +5 brake bounce I'm using, and I'm picking the Toyota Super Formula car. The Honda is just as good here as well. So we're already at the turn 1 brake marker. On the right-hand side, we've got this wall, and at the end of the wall there, this orange painted bit here. This is your brake marker. Now, you're going to drop down to second gear for this first part. Now, the curb on this first corner is absolutely fine to use, so I recommend you do use this one. You're going to trail brake into the corner, and what I mean by trail brake is literally you'll go from 100% to say 50%, and that means you can turn 50%, and that allows the car to just go into the corner, and you can just apply the brakes that bit longer. Watch what happens now. So I'm 100% braking, I then reduce the braking, and then it's literally gone. We accelerate a little bit, and then we get to this point here, which you can see at the start of the curve there on that right-hand side. You need to brake really early for this part. It's very easy to outbrake yourself, go way too deep here, and have a really long hairpin, essentially. If you brake early, you get it turned in, and you can get out this corner really fast. And that's the critical part about this corner. It's about getting out of here as quick as possible, applying the throttle, putting the grip down in terms of the tyres, just to accelerate away out of this corner. And that is where the time is won or lost on this time trial straight away, is applying the throttle, getting the power down. So notice how I come into here. I'm trying to get the car turned. I'm instantly on the throttle there. The car's wiggling a little bit. I get it straight, and then I accelerate out of the corner, as you can see right now. We're going to head up towards the next brake marker then. Remember, this next corner is a chicane. So what we're going to be looking for is on the left-hand side here, and that is that 50 board right there. So critically for this corner, you're going to drop to third gear. You're going to turn in. You can't see the curb at the moment, but you need to follow this darkened part of the circuit, which we'll see better in chase cam in a second. But the first part of the chicane is third gear. The second part is fourth gear. If you try and do the second part in third gear, you'll get a lot of wheel spin and you will spin the car. It's better to short shift to fourth and just take the hit on that small power decrease, okay? So you can see here where the 50 board is. You can see the darkened part of the circuit. So we're going to hit the brakes, third gear, turn in. We clip the curb on the inside. We're going to go up to fourth gear. You can mount the curb on the left there. You might get a bit of a wiggle, but fourth gear is a bit more stable. Notice how much of the curb we use there on the exit. We're going to continue around the right-hand corner here, and we're going to head to another chicane. So we go past the 100 board. Now, critically for this, you're not going as far as the 50 board. You're looking for this orange painted bit on the right-hand side, but you're braking before it, okay? Now, critically, this is after the 100 board. Critically, you want to brake a little bit later than you think for this corner. And the reason for that, the reason for it, is if you turn in too early, you're going to mount the curb, and this curb is deadly. You do not want to mount the curb on the inside here. You want to clip the outside of it, and that is all. If you go on the inside of this curb, you're going to spin out straight away. The car does not like it. So we're going to hit the brakes. You're going to drop to second gear here, and then you'll be short shifting to third very quickly. But watch what happens now. So we clip the curb. We don't go over it. We then accelerate in third gear. We're going to lift off as we clip this curb now. We just want to balance the car, and then we want to straighten up the car on the exit. The reason you want to do that is it's very bumpy on the exit. So if you've still got a lot of angle in the wheel, what will happen is you'll just get wheel spin, and it'll just spin out. So if you just straighten up the steering, head towards the barrier, and then just slightly turn the wheel, you'll be absolutely fine. We're going to head to another chicane. Yes, it's a circuit full of chicanes here. So on the left-hand side, we have this 100 board. Okay, now you want to brake after this. Not on it, not where I'm at right now. I'm highlighting this marker as essentially you need to go past this and then hit the brakes. Now, I found with this corner that the exit is even worse than the previous corner in the fact that if you're even remotely turning, the car will just spin out. And you've got two sausage curbs now on either side, which can really hamper your lap, okay? So I like to clip the first part, and that gives me a safe run on the second part. Some people are clipping the second one, or even trying to mount the second one, just to get through the corner. So you can play about with that if you wish, but notice here as we go through this, I short shift to third gear. I don't touch that second one. And notice that I come off the throttle from 100% a little bit, because I'm that nervous. And that is losing me lap time right now. The fact that I'm so nervous in terms of applying the throttle. You need confidence in the car, and I don't have it. And the reason for that is because I'm very new to this circuit. So this is where we'll improve. And we'll have a look at Delta to see if that is the case as well, because Delta really tells us the answer here in Gran Turismo 7. So we're approaching the hairpin now at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. On the left-hand side is the 100 board. You can use that if you want to. I wasn't. I was using the marker on the right-hand side there. That piece of grey, I don't know whether it's a building or a shed or a marshal post. I'm not sure exactly what it is. All I know is it's the perfect brake marker on that right-hand side. It's very obvious when you're racing as well. You're going to hit the brakes. Now, for the hairpin, you want a later apex, and don't keep it too tight, okay? So you're going to see me stick towards the left-hand side. And let's say as we go, come down the gears now. We're in first gear. We're going to short shift to second. Let's say we haven't clipped the curb yet. Gone for later apex. We now clip it. We're going to go up to second gear. And the reason we do that is if you're in first, you're just going to hit the rev limiter on the exit. So we go to second. Arguably, you can even do that in third gear on the exit because it'll wheel spin up and get you in the power band. But it's a bit trickier to do in third because you don't have the initial power drawdown, and what can happen is because there's no weight over the rear wheels, it then spins out. Your choice in that one, second or third gear exit, just have a play with it and you should be able to get the right gear for you. So we're approaching the final corner now, and arguably one of the hardest because it's the end of the lap and very easy to get wrong, and I've had many laps wrong here. So on the left-hand side there, we've got the 100 board and then the orange painted bit there where somebody can stick their head out of there, or a marshal flag, of course. So this is your brake marker. Now, for the chicane, you can do this in third gear and then short shift to fourth gear, or you can just do it in fourth gear and absolutely yeet it. I go with the yeet scenario. I really just wanted to send it in, and I clip the first sausage on the right and try and avoid the second sausage, and that seems to be the better way to take it. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I clip it, goes to the bounce there, but that allows me to go straight then on the exit, and I can continue on through. Fairly okay chicane there. I think there's a bit more speed in that one. But we're going to head towards the line, and that is a 119.3. There's lots of time in this lap, and that's something I can look at as well. So we're going to hit the brakes out, orange paint bar on the right side. We then hit the brakes very early here. We want to get the car turned now. Let's say we're on throttle very early. That's to get the power down. We just want to get out of that corner as quick as possible. Let's mark it to 50 board on the left hand side. There it is. We're going to hit the brakes, third gear, clip the curb, up to fourth gear now. Through we go. Keep it nice and stable. Continue on. Through the right hander, just past the 100 board before the orange barrier. Where is it? There it is. We hit the brakes. Turn in a bit later, clip the curb in third gear. Lift off as you clip that curb, get the car straight, and then continue on through. We're going to be looking now for the 100 board on the left-hand side, just as we enter the tunnel, essentially. And for this one, remember, we're going to be looking to just clip the first sausage on the right, but then avoid the sausage on the left. There we go. And just be careful with those bumps on the exit. Continue down towards the hairpin. We're looking for the grey part on the right-hand side. Remember that. So as we go through here, we can see it right now. As it hits the edge of the screen, we hit the brakes. Remember, late apex, first gear, up to second gear now. Just be careful on exit due to power oversteer as we continue on out of here. Now you can breathe a little bit and just think about this final chicane. So easy to get wrong. You do want to yeet it, and a lot of time to be gained or lost on this final one, and it's the last corner, so it's a bit frustrating. Even so, on the left-hand side then, we are going to be looking for the 100 board. Where is it? There it is. We're going to go to fourth gear. Clip the first sausage, straighten up, and then through we go and head towards the line. Once again, that's a 119.3. Let's head to Delta then, and let's see where we can improve just that little bit more. I've loaded Suzu's lap here in the Delta app, which is a 119.022, so 3 tenths quicker than my lap. So there's going to be a lot of time to find here and plenty of places where we can improve. So let's kick off this straight away, and this is what I love about Delta. So we're going to continue towards turn number 1 then, which is the left-hander. As we go through there, we've already lost some time, so are we just not carrying enough speed? Looking at the difference there, yes, we're just not carrying enough speed, so we need to improve that. Remember, these Super Formula cars have a lot of downforce. The more speed you carry, the more grip you have. It's one of the reasons why some of the best times in the world you're going to be seeing going so fast, and you'll be there going, why can't I do that? They're just carrying that bit more speed. The downforce plants the car, they can keep on going through. So let's go through this turn then, and by the end of it, we're nearly 2 tenths down straight away. So already, I could just keep hitting restart here and trying to improve just on this one alone, okay? It's really obvious here. You can see as well, if we, can we zoom in a little bit there? Literally, the yellow dotted line is even tighter than my line was, and that's what I talked about in the guide. Keep it nice and tight and just get out of this corner as quick as you can. Suzu opens up the steering earlier, and that means Suzu can exit the corner quicker, and you can see 2 miles an hour difference there. Really extreme that in terms of time, and that's where I've lost 2 tenths already. So where else do we lose time then? So we're going to go into the chicane then, the fast... Oh, okay, we're getting a bit of time here. So we do this better than Suzu. So this is the right into the left. So we go up to 4th gear here, remember, as we continue on through. And we actually benefit on the exit there. So what does Suzu do? Suzu goes to 3rd gear. No, sorry, it's in... Let me read this properly. Yes, so I stay in 3rd gear longer than Suzu, so I get a bit better acceleration out of that corner. And I did talk about this, where you short shift, you sacrifice a bit of power, so that's what Suzu's done there to make sure the lap counts. Really interesting to see that. But yeah, I've benefited a little bit more there. Let's continue on with this one then. Sorry if my mouse drags it down a little bit. It's a bit broken at the moment. Right, so we're coming into this left. This is the chicane that can really catch you out if you mount the curb here. We've definitely got the exact same line here as we come into this. So 0.16 down, and by the end of it, we have lost some time. We've lost a lot of time in this corner. So as we get to this point here, that's absolutely fine. So as we go through, so Susu's 100% throttle. I wasn't. We then both lift, and Susu goes straight on the 100% power. And that's confidence in the car. And this is what I talked about. Susu's got more confidence in the car. He's 4 miles an hour quicker than me on the exit. And you can see that's tenths of a second lost straight away. So I really just need to get more confident in this car. The car will stick. The car will survive. So we're 3.5 tenths down now. So I must actually get this time back somewhere, because that is the gap distance. So Susu's actually a bit just gaining time on me here, because he's just carried more speed throughout that section. We get to the next chicane then, and this is where I clip the inside. And interestingly, Susu's clipping the left one, I clip the right one, and Susu has benefited there, and even more speed. Look at this, half a second down. So somewhere in this lap, I gained some time back, which would be really interesting. So I'm losing time everywhere here due to confidence and not carrying enough speed. So that's critically what you need to improve on here as well if you are struggling. Just try and carry that bit more speed. We're going to head towards the hairpin then. We go through the hairpin. I lose a bit more time there. Susu's taking a much deeper line, it looks like there. Much deeper, and he's trying to get on the power a bit earlier than me, and actually benefits from that and carries more speed on the exit. That's very interesting indeed. So I'm half a second down here at this moment in time. So this lap not looking too good. So I must just get it all in the final chicane. I did say I yeet this, didn't I? So as we come into here, we're half a second down. We get through it, and we gain 2 tenths down, because in the middle of this corner, I am 6 miles an hour quicker. 6. So again, I've just yeeted it straight in there, gone through the corner, and on the exit, I'm still quicker. Notice there, the entire time, I'm neither losing time, because Susu's just got the confidence, accelerating out of corners quicker, or, as I showed you at the end of the lap, I've gained time. I gained 2 tenths there, just from the confidence that the car is going to stick on the exit. And that's what you need to do in this car as well. You need to just have confidence the car is going to stick, and hopefully you'll survive. Just be careful of some of those curbs. That's it for Daily Race A then. We're going to jump to Daily Race B, where we're at the other brand new circuit in Gran Turismo, Yas Marina, and we're in Group 4 machinery. But which one did I pick? Here we are on the start-finish straight, and I picked that GT by Citroen Group 4 car. As we head towards Turn 1, though, I've given you 3 brake markers. First of all, the orange paint on the right. It's very obvious when you're driving, you can use for turn number 1. You're braking after that moment. On the left-hand side, we've got the barrier with the triangle in. You can also use that as a brake marker as well. I also use the 100 board, but the 100 board can actually be disintegrated very quickly and knocked off, so you do have to be careful about using that. These other ones can't be destroyed, therefore I would recommend you use those as brake markers. What I want you to do is I want you to hit the brakes, and I want you to then trail brake a little bit and turn into this corner, okay? As you turn in, let's just trail brake there, and then we come off it. I'm trying to avoid the sausage, but I hit it. That cost me some time there, and that is unfortunate. But if you could just miss it, but use a lot of the inside curb, you'll be absolutely fine. We get to this point here where it looks like the paint is a bit wrong. The white line, it just jumps over and carries on. This is your turning marker. As that leaves the bottom of your screen, you're going to turn in to this corner. You're following that black line, that black racing line round. I want you to cut a lot of the inside corner coming up. Now, this lap is all about staying within track limits. The track limits on Gran Turismo 7 are curb. Curbs count as tracks. That's what we're doing right now, okay? So we're going to chuck the car in here then, as that bottom, or that hits the bottom of the screen. Notice there we turn in. We get as close to the barrier as we can, staying on the curb there as we continue on through. Once we get straight, we're going to turn it towards the right hand side now, and we're going to try and get on the inside of this curve as much as possible. We lift off a little bit there, and then we're going to continue on through. Be careful on the exit here. There are track limits at play there, so if you run too wide here, you've got a problem. Notice there, I just stayed on the red and white curbing. We're going to head down towards this corner here. Now, some people are abusing track limits here on the exits of this particular corner. We're not going to do that here. We're going to do this the proper way, the right way. Curbs are the track limits. So first of all, the braking marker. We have the start of the curb and the 50 board there on the right hand side. What I want you to do here is I want you to point towards the middle of the circuit as you go on the brake. So you're still braking in a straight line, but you're pointed towards the middle. It's a late apex corner, this one, but you need to be able to be halfway into the track already. If you start from the outside, you're going to struggle to get round here. And when you do this, you're then going to just trail brake a little bit as you get to the end. You can let the car rotate, and then you'll accelerate out of the corner. What do I do now? So I've turned towards the middle of the circuit. We get towards the end of the braking, and we stay on the brake a bit longer, trying to trail brake a little bit there, and we need to get the car turned. Now, I suffered a bit of understeer there, which did cost me a little bit of time here. However, I still try and get on the throttle very early. It's really critical you get that corner right. The quicker you get through that corner, the more speed you carry, the better your lap will be, because this is a long acceleration period. Just seeing this right now, look how long this straight actually is. In Group 4, the more speed you carry, the better it actually is. I'm going to head towards the chicane here, though, at Yas Marina then. And what we're looking for here is these two markers. So on the right, we've got the 150 board and the start of the curb. You're braking after they get to the bottom of the screen. Alternatively, on the left-hand side, you can only just see it right there. There's like a little building of some kind. It's got like a slight yellow tinge there on my screen. But you can use that as well. It's literally as that hits the edge of your screen on the left-hand side. Now, critically for this corner, you need to over-slow the car. What I mean by this is take the first part of the chicane very slowly, more slow than you realise, because it's all about the second part of the chicane, getting that right to carry the speed and actually get the better times. We're going to hit the brakes here. We're going to drop down to first gear. We want to cut as much as we can on the inside here. Make sure the sausage is in the middle of the car. Notice how far left we are now. We accelerate a little bit. We'll go up to second gear, and then we're going to lift off, go over the sausage, and then continue on through there. Now, we need to straighten up quite quickly. It's very slippy on this part of the circuit, but as long as we stay on the curbs, we're absolutely fine there. We continue on now towards the next corner, which is that long left-hander. Long acceleration period. This is why we need to get that chicane done correctly. But we're going to head over towards the right-hand side of the circuit now. What we're looking for is on the right-hand side here. We have the 50 board there, but arguably you want to brake before that. And this is why I've got this white line highlighted right here. This is the sector time. Now, similar to the corner, just as we got onto the first back straight here, you want to point towards the corner on this one and go hard on the brakes. And only when you get to the inside curb do you then start to trail brake and bleed those brakes off. This corner is all about carrying the speed and trying to get the rotation in the car. So what you're going to see me do now is aim towards the corner, as I've just said. I'm going to go hard on the brakes. And in fact, let's just watch it now. We come down the gears here. As we get towards the corner, we start to release the brakes. We then start to edge out here and we lift off. We let the car just roll a little bit. Now, when that sign right there gets towards the top of the screen, you can see right now I've gone on the accelerator. That's when you start to accelerate. What you'll find here is, especially with a Citroen, is the car likes to rotate. Now, as you let it roll, the weight goes to that right rear of the car, and then as you start to accelerate, the rest of the weight really pushes down. It's already got round, so it just wants to oversteer a little bit, which rotates the car and gets you around this corner. So arguably, at this moment in time, you can do full throttle, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go towards the inside of the corner, and watch this. I'm not taking my foot off the throttle. I'm going to go up to fourth gear, clean as you like. So that's the marker you're really looking for here at Yas Marina. We head over towards the left-hand side, not fully though. We're going to head towards the right now, and we're going to head over a little bit more to the left, not fully, and we're going to turn in. And what we're going to try and do here is cut to the inside curb here, because we want to brake in a straight line. Now, to brake in a straight line, what we have to do is brake towards the outside of the circuit. So we're using the end of the curb on the right as our brake marker. Arguably, you could just use where the barrier is, so you've just gone past that barrier as it protrudes into the circuit. We're going to brake in a straight line now towards the outside of the circuit. When we get to the outside of the circuit, if we don't release the brakes, we're going to run wide. But if we release the brakes, start doing 50% as an example, we'll be able to turn the car 50%, which gets the car turned into the corner. And that's what we're trying to do here. So we're going to go hard on the brakes right now. As there, we start to release the brakes as we get towards the curb. We then allow the car to turn in, and we use a lot of the curb on the inside. We're going to accelerate through here. We're far left here at this moment, but that's not actually that bad. Now, the start of the curb on the left-hand side is your brake marker. Arguably, if you're further to the right and you're turning in, you're braking just a tiny bit earlier, but you're aiming for this part of the curb. The reason for that, and you might be able to tell here on the video, it's off camber. So what I mean here is the apex is at the top, the outside of the circuit is at the bottom. So all the circuit's going to do is push the car that way. That's what gravity does. Put a ball at the top here, it's going to go that way. Same for the car. It's going to want to go towards the outside of the circuit. So you really need to get on the inside here. What will happen is we'll go towards the outside of the circuit, but we're going to keep turning the car now. We don't want to fully straighten the car. Notice here, we keep the car turning. We don't stop that turn. That allows the weight to stay on the right rear, and it means the car's just going to turn that little bit better through the off-camber corners. And that is critical for that corner. If you straighten up, even remotely, game over with your lap time. So make sure you just keep the car turned and just apply the throttle where you need to. This right-hander is a slight lift. You can do it flat, but I get a bit scared, as you see right now, because I don't want to go over track limits. We get to the final corner then, where on the right-hand side, we've got the orange painted barrier and the pit lane sign. You want to brake in between these two. Now, I highly recommend you actually brake early for this last corner. I find it very easy to out-brake myself and go a little bit too deep into this one. So, orange paint barrier on the right, you can use that first of all, and then start pushing your luck a little bit, but not too much, towards the pit lane side, okay? And we're going to brake on this curb. Yes, it's going to be a bit bumpy, but we want the maximum angle of attack for this final corner. So let's go onto the brakes right now. We're going to hit the brakes, and we're going to drop to second gear. Notice now we start to release the brakes already, trying to turn into this corner. We'll go to third gear, and then we're going to accelerate out. Now we have to lift a little bit there because I don't want to go over the curb, because that would be abusing track limits. But we're going to head towards the line, and that's a 2:03.341. Let's go into a fast lap then, like we normally do. So we're looking for the 100 board, or the orange, or the triangle on the barrier as we turn in there. We don't want to clip the sausage like that, because that is bad. As the white line changes up here, I'll follow that black line through. We go. Cut the inside here. We accelerate towards the right hand. Then we're going to lift off a little bit and try and get on the inside of this corner. We then accelerate through. Be careful, track limits on the exit. Now, next brake marker is literally just before the 50 board, the start of the curb. We're going to aim towards the middle of the circuit. That is critical for this corner. We then start to release the brakes right now. Let the car rotate. Now, we didn't get that quite right, but even so, we're very aggressive on the throttle because we have to be on the exit. In towards the next corner then, just after the 150 board, start the curb, we're going to brake them. Remember, oversaw the car for this one, really cut the inside, accelerate a little bit, up to second gear, over towards the right side, lift off a little bit, just be careful, straighten the car up, and make sure you are going straight, because if you overturn the car there, you'll slide off and spear into the barrier. So, where's the set time? There it is, as we then go into this corner. Trail braking, there's the accelerating marker, as it hits the top of your screen, accelerate through the corner, continue on then. Use the curb on the exit, it's there for you to use, head over towards the right side, but not going fully to the left in terms of track. So on the inside there, just past the orange paint barrier, as the curb protrudes in there, start at the end of the curb, we turn in. We're going to accelerate a little bit more then over towards the left side, dab the brakes a little bit. Really keep the car turned now, up to third gear, just slight lifts here, there, everywhere then, just to make sure the car gets round. Head over towards the left hand side. We're going to then head through the right here, getting as close to the barrier on the inside as possible, out towards the outside of the circuit. Orange paint barrier, we're going to hit the brakes, second gear, get the car turned in, up to third gear, and accelerate towards the line. That is Yas Marina in a Group 4 car. Let's jump to some Delta data, and let's see where we can improve that little bit more. Here we are in Delta then. I've loaded Manu Rodri's lap, which is a 2:03.114. You can see that at the top of the screen. Remember, my lap is a 2:03.3. So there's a 2/10 difference there. It might be that we lose more in some corners and gain some back, but this is what Delta's for. We find out our strengths and weaknesses. So let's kick off this lap then. We're going to head towards turn number 1. So we're even Stevens. We go through there, and I'm actually up a little bit, and then I start to lose a little bit. Now, I'm going to say, if you remember on the lap, I hit the sausage. So as we get to this point here, I'm carrying much more speed, and then I hit the sausage, and then I lose out. So yeah, the sausage has cost me some time, and I said that on the lap, and it quite clearly has there. Let's go through the fast left and fast right now, and we are even Stevens as we head down towards the hairpin. So this is where your lap can be won or lost straight away. So as we go through here, we do lose some time there. Now, Manu Rodri takes a tiny bit of a wider line through the corner and manages to come back. Now, I just understeered. If you remember, I understeered at this moment. Where is it? Here. So I understeered at this moment here because I hit the brakes again, and I really shouldn't have. Notice there, Manu Rodri is accelerating. I'm hitting the brakes. So quite clearly, I've just got the braking slightly wrong, and that has cost me some time on the exit there. And look at this. It's cost me 1/10 of a second. So it's really critical you get that hairpin right. Head towards the chicane then. We go through the chicane. And arguably, I gain a bit of time back there. So we're 1/10 down as we go into here. We go through the corner. And by the exit, I'm always building up slowly but surely. So maybe, just maybe, it is about evens there. Because Manu Rodri carried more speed on the exit. Right, let's get to this fast left then. So we're still 1/10 down here. Do we lose here? We've lost a tiny bit of time there. Nothing major in terms of that. However, Manu Rodri takes a very different line here. It goes far to the inside. Does that actually benefit there? That's an interesting line as we continue on through that. I'd have to actually look at the replay to understand that one a bit more. But we're coming into the braking zone here. This is where we get towards the off-camber corners. We hit the brakes, 1.5 temps down. We go through the left. Tell you what, Manu Rodri nails this part here to go under the hotel, this part there. Absolutely nails it. So that's somewhere where I need to improve for sure. Manu Rodri's just carrying so much more speed initially there. As we get to the exit, yeah, I lose 1/10 of a second there. I need to focus there. And this is what I like about Delta, okay? So, you know, I look at Delta and I go, where can I improve? Critically, under the hotel. I can see that straight away. And then also at the hairpin. But I already knew about the hairpin because I talked about it on the lap where literally I just understood a little bit and it cost me some time on the exit. Two critical parts there in terms of the lap, what I need to focus on. Hopefully that's of help to you as well. And also how you use a Delta as well. Now, for Daily Race C, we're going to head to Fuji, where we're in Group 3. And I chose the wrong Ferrari initially, but then it turned out to be the right choice. So we're on the start finish straight here. And look, I chose the 458 Italia then as we head towards turn number 1. Now, on the left-hand side, we're using the dark grey to light grey on the grandstand as our brake marker. We're also using +3 brake balance here in the Ferrari 458 Italia. Now, you will see a difference in wind speed here because this was the last time we were here, not the current time, but it's exactly the same brake markers, exactly the same situation. So you can just use the exact same things here in terms of maximising your lap time here at Fuji. So I'd say the dark grey to light grey on the left-hand side is our brake marker. We're going to brake in a straight line, and then as we get towards first gear, we then want to start releasing the brakes just to allow ourselves to turn. So there's second gear, and then first gear, we start to release the brakes now, and notice the car will turn. We clip the curb, we instantly go on throttle there. That bounces the rear end a little bit. Then we go 100% up to second gear, and we can continue on through as normal. Now that corner, you can actually lose more time than you realise by just running a little bit too deep and having to overturn the car. So if you just slow down, make sure you just clip the curb, you should be absolutely fine. We're going to head up towards the fast left-hander here at Fuji then. On the left-hand side, we've got the dark grey on the barrier going to the white on the left-hand side. What I want you to do here is I want you to dab the brakes, drop to third gear and chuck the car in. And just make sure you clip the curb on the inside. If you touch the bollard, it's absolutely fine. It will slow you down a bit more. And in the odd Group 3 car, it will cause some oversteer, but don't worry too much about that. I say, hit the brakes, drop a gear. I don't know why that's drop a gear, but that's drop a gear. Third gear into the corner, clip the curb on the inside, happy days. Just be careful about running too wide on the exit. Let's do that now. So third gear, chucking it in now. We clip the curb on the inside. We're now going to start accelerating and we're up to fourth gear, but make sure you stay on the red and white curbing. If you go over that, you're going to have dirty tyres. Back on the circuit now, and I'm going to stop it right here. There are 2 escape roads. This is the first one. There's one on the other side of this corner as you leave it, and this is your lift-off marker. Now, you can dab the brakes a little bit if you want to, but I always advise here at Fuji just to lift off. Lift off and let the car do its own thing here. Let the downforce work and let the car go through the corner. Then, as you start to get more consistent with this corner, you can then start to apply a little bit of throttle. Try and maintain a bit more speed. Maintain that speed a bit more. Get an average speed increase in terms of the overall corner, and it will allow you to improve. So we clip the inside there. Notice there, we're just letting the car roll. We're now going to start to accelerate. The car started to rotate nicely. There's the second escape road. You should be 100% throttle really when you get to that point, and we're going to head over towards the right-hand side. Our next brake marker is on the left-hand side there. It's the end of the curb on the left-hand side. So as that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Now, when you get to second gear, you're going to want to start releasing the brakes very quickly because you really need to get this car turned into the corner. If you outbrake yourself here, you've just got this corner to take. It's so much longer is the best way to describe it. It's just so much longer. You go too deep, you're then going to bring it back. So it's like a mini hairpin essentially. It's not quite 180, but you can see even on the mini-map at the top there, it's all about getting the car turned in and then just maximizing the speed on the exit. So the curb there hits the edge of our screen. We're trail braking out all the way in second gear. We clip the curb and we're instantly going to go on throttle. Straighten up that steering. One common problem a lot of people have here is that they keep on turning like this through the corner. What happens there is the rear then just wants to snap and give you oversteer. Straighten up that steering and you'll be absolutely fine on the exit of that corner. You can really maximize the throttle then all the way down to the chicane coming up. And this chicane is always a difficult one to get right, and it's one that I'm actually well suited to, weirdly, with my driving style. So on the right hand side then, we've got the 100 and the orange painted barrier. Brake just after they leave the screen on the right hand side, especially in the Ferrari. Other cars you might have to brake just before that, but just use them as your brake markers. So you're going to brake in a straight line now. You're going to follow the left-hand side curb all the way down until you get to first gear. When you get to first gear, I want you to release the brakes and let the car turn in. Now, as you turn in, you want to cut all of the inside curb. And what you're trying to do is prepare for the second part of the chicane. So what we're going to do now, we're going to brake all the way down following this curb. Watch this then. So there's fourth gear. And notice there, we're on the curb. We're just following it all the way down. First gear, we're going to start to release it now. And the car's going to turn in. We use all of the inside curb. We're going to accelerate a little bit. We're going to go up to second gear and then lift off. Lift off, clip the curb on the inside, we then balance the car. What we need to do now is straighten up. Very easy to get power oversteer there because you're still overturning the car like I've talked about previously. I'm going to head towards the left-hand side of the circuit then, and right behind my head, which will disappear now, we've got the grass into AstroTurf there on the left-hand side. What you're going to do here is you're going to hit the brakes, not 100% necessarily, and you're going to drop a gear in most cars. The reason for that is you're just trying to get a bit of rotation. You're going uphill now. It's a tiny bit off combat, nothing major there really though, but you do just want to get the car turned in. If you run wide, you're wide throughout the entirety of the corner, and it just feels so long. So you really need to get on the inside and clip in that curb. Whether it's off camera or not, debatable. I feel like it is a tiny bit, but you're going uphill, so maybe it's not. As we continue on through here though, notice I'm on the inside, we can continue on through. Full throttle now, third gear, we head over towards the left-hand side, and on this left-hand side, right behind my head once again, is the end of the curb. Sorry, it's a start of the curb. It's actually the end of the curb. You can quite clearly see that. What you're going to do here is you're going to head towards the outside of the circuit, and you're going to be trail braking the entire time here. Now, arguably, you want to go down to first gear in nearly all cars. When you drop to first gear, the rear will just want to instantly rotate. It'll just do this, which is what you want, because as you go out towards the outside, you're actually taking a longer line. But what you're doing is you're preparing for the exit, because if you're overturning the car on the exit, like I've said previously, it will just oversteer. So when you go to first gear here, notice how the car rotates. You're then going to short shift to second gear, you clip the curb, and then you straighten up the steering. And the reason you do that is you don't want the power oversteer. Red and white curbing is track limit, so you can use that freely. I'm going to head towards the final corner then here at Fuji, and there are 3 lines you can take for this corner. So the orange painted barrier is your brake marker. Now you can take the tight line, which I would only do in an overtaking opportunity. So if you've watched my weekly race guide in terms of the race, you'll see that I do take the tight line a few times to get an overtake done or get closer to a car in terms of slipstream. Middle of the road approach is the best approach in terms of averages, and if you're starting a lap, take the very wide line, stick to the outside line, then point the car and just bolt out the corner, and that will be the best way to start your qualifying lap here at Fuji. We're going to take the middle of the road approach down. That's second gear. We're not 100% braking, so it allows the car to turn. We're down to first gear. We short shift to second. We're looking to clip the curb, and then once again, straighten up that steering. You can go a little bit on the slippy stuff on the outside of the curb. Just be careful if you do. But then we're going to head towards the line, and that is a lap here at Fuji. Now, this particular lap is a 0.5. It's already on the Delta app there because the historic stuff is still all on there, so you can always go back and visit it, and this is the 37.5, so you can visit this lap again. We're going to go into a fast lap now in terms of Fuji, so no stopping here. On the left-hand side, remember, the dark grey into light grey on the grandstand. There it is. We're going to hit the brakes. We're going to drop down towards first gear, release the brakes, turn in, clip the curb, then start to accelerate up to second gear. Just make sure you don't touch the slippy stuff on the outside. Head over towards the right-hand side now. Remember, looking for the dark grey to white on the barrier on the left-hand side. Where is it? There it is. Dab the brakes, third gear, chuck it in, clip the curb, accelerate through up to fourth gear, stay on the red and white curbing, over towards the right-hand side. Where's the escape road? There it is. Lift. Let the car do its thing. Let it roll. Now start to build your speed. Clip the inside there. Head over towards the right side. End the curb on the left. Hit the brake. Second gear. Trail brake now. Clip the curb. Straighten up your steering as best as you can here. The corner does open up. Use the curb if you need to as we head down towards the chicane. And what I'm saying now is what I'm thinking every single lap when I do this. And that's what you should be thinking as well. Where am I braking? What am I doing next? Here we go then. So orange painted barrier on the right side is our brake marker. First gear starts to release the brakes. Cut the inside. Accelerate a little bit. We're going to go to second gear. Lift off a little bit. Clip the curb. Straighten up the steering. Head over towards the left hand side. Grass to AstroTurf. There it is. Hit the brake. Second gear. Trail braking all the way in. We clip the curb. We can accelerate out. Straighten up once again. Third gear. End of the curb on the left. We then trail brake all the way through. Down to first gear. Get that rotation. Short shift to second gear. Straighten up. Abuse the red and white curb. There we go. Over towards the left side. End of the barrier on the right hand side is our marker. Turn in. Up to second gear. Clip the curb. Accelerate out of and head towards the line. And that is a lap here at Fuji. Once again, that's a 137.5. You can see I'm quite consistent on the right. And I was quite consistent today. Doing the exact same thing because these brake markers haven't changed. Let's jump into Delta then and let's have a look at where I could possibly improve. I've done something very unique here. I've loaded my lap time from this morning, so this was very much after getting up after 4 hours straight into the daily races at 6:30 versus the 137.5 that you saw just before in terms of the lap guide. So we're going to look at where I can improve from my lap this morning on the 38.0. And when I look at that, I can say, okay, well, I need to do this, that, and this to get back to my 37.5 or arguably faster than in terms of lap time and a bit further up the leaderboard. So Here we go then. So the blue line in terms of the time difference here versus the gold, which is the reference time of my 0.5. We head towards turn 1, and critically here, and this is where wind difference matters in Gran Turismo 7, and Delta can show this. You can see the speed difference here. It's 1 mile an hour difference, and that is just the wind speed difference, because on the 0.5, I believe it's 0.2, whereas today it's 3.3 meters per second or whatever it is in terms of the wind speed. So it's stronger, and it's a headwind. So critically, you're not able to get quite as much speed. So by the time you get to turn 1, I'm a tenth down, and that is just wind speed. But what we can do then is we can actually measure where the differences are. So as we go through here, arguably we should be going a bit quicker, and we start to gain a little bit of time. You can see that there with the wind now being behind us, it's pushing us along. We get towards the fast left-hander. That is purely just me not doing it as correctly as I did in the past. And as we get into the middle of the corner, it's about the same, but on the exit, I'm carrying that more speed, and I'm actually accelerating a bit earlier. So I did it a little bit better on the old time, so I just need to improve there, carry a bit more speed, absolutely fine. We go into the long right-hander now. As we go through here, I'm just not carrying enough speed here. And that's just because I'm a little bit tired, which is critical. You know, being awake is very critical to getting a better lap. And quite clearly here, a bit rusty. I just need to build up my speed. Let's continue on through here then. So that's 0.3 of a second. We head down towards the chicane, and we do lose some time here then. So on the brakes, we're fine. We get through the first part, absolutely fine. We get through the second part though, and we just struggle a little bit here. So on the exit, once again, I'm just carrying that bit more speed. Few more laps in me, and arguably I'll be back at that pace. As we continue on through here, I'm not finding any part of the lap here. Oh, this bit, maybe I could have done a bit better on the 0.5, so arguably I'm doing this a little bit better. So as we come up here, what is happening in terms of speed? No, it's about even, to be fair. It's about even. It's always interesting monitoring that. You see me go silent because I'm trying to monitor it. But as we head towards the line, again, you're just seeing that speed, the time difference slowly come down due to the wind. So arguably, my 0.5 is actually a very good lap, and it would be very hard to improve on that lap. However, I can quite quickly see here what I did last time versus now, in terms of this time, and what I need to improve on based on last time's lap, which was a fantastic lap, in order to get my lap time down from a 38.0 back down to the 0.5. Just carry that bit more speed and have some confidence in the car. Very interesting stuff, and I hope you have enjoyed it. I love the Delta app for this because you can really dig down into the data very easily, effectively, and know exactly where to improve. So I can pick out a corner straight away there where I need to improve. Start the lap straight away. The fast left-hander, as we go through here, I lose a tenth, which says to me I just need to carry more speed. And it's very obvious and very clear. Delta for the win is all I can say about that. But that is going to be it for this week's guides. I do hope you have enjoyed these. I hope they are of help to you as well in terms of the information given, the brake markers, and how to use the Delta app as well. I've been Martin Grady, otherwise known as Tiffany. A big thank you for watching as always. Make sure you do give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave any comments and questions down below, and I hope to see you in some more video race guides very soon for Gran Turismo 7 here on the Coach Dave Academy Gran Turismo YouTube channel.